Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi. Welcome to the Cannabis Collaborative Conference, Hemp Connects. We're super excited to be here again this year. My name is Samantha Montanaro, and we've got some fun in store for us today. So first off, I'm going to introduce you to someone who has been a longtime cannabis activist, and she is running for mayor of Portland in 2020. She is a friend of mine, and over the last few years, I've had the real immense pleasure of getting to know her and what she stands for and the types of people who surround her in her community. And I must say, I'm on board. I don't know how in tune y'all are with Portland politics, or if you're even from Portland, but we have kind of a unique set up for the government here, where the mayor and four other seats vote together to manage the city. And Portland has a long history of racism and inequitable practices, despite its progressive reputation around the nation. And what excites me is like putting our money where our mouth is, or like walking the walk, walking the talk, right? That kind of thing. Teressa does that. And it's very exciting for me to meet a politician who I feel like I am actually in alignment with. I don't feel like she's blowing smoke, literally or figuratively, however you'd like to look at that. So, with no further ado, I'm very excited to welcome Teressa Raiford.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, everybody, and to Tokeativity with all the work that you do in our community and across the world. Like, they're really well known for the work that they do, bringing us together across the board. So just thank you for having me here today. It's early in the morning, and I don't want to start out the day trying to tell women what to do, but but I usually don't hold paper or take notes when I talk, because I feel about the things that I'm saying very deeply. But I wanted to give out 4 points for in case it's missed. The first point is that women, we lead with compassion, and I don't have to tell anyone here that and why. Political power does matter, and it matters to all of us across the board, because when we lead with compassion, there's a reason behind it, and the complexity of our hearts and the way that we serve each other, and we serve our communities, and we serve our children and families around us. It matters, but it's not reflected in a lot of government because men wrote the rules. Developing a Reconstruction revolution within this industry can be done. And when I say that, I mean that when we talk about political issues like the women's war to save our bodies against men manipulating our opportunities, it's because those things that have been written have not been challenged. We talk about reforming systems, but we never talk about a time of reconstruction. And right now, with all the money that's coming in through the cannabis and the hemp industry, I believe that we have the money to build reconstruction. And I think the development of what that reconstruction looks politically like has to come from us. We can't compromise our interests, because our great-grandchildren depend on something better than what we have right now. I don't want mine being guilty about this time and the lack of effort being made by political leaders that we elect, because it will be on us when they have to deal with it. And then the last thing is just basically our generation must do this together. There's no more divide and conquer. There's no more ain't I a woman. There's no more leading as saviors and not partnering as comrades. We can't do that. Our children cannot trust that we're going to do the right things if we're not compelling ourselves to be as complex as our ideas are within our groups of families. We have to intentionally build community. We have to figure out what that looks like. We have to be scientific about it. We have to be intentional about it. We have to be unapologetic about it. Because again, I'm a grandmother right now, and I don't want my children standing up in front of rooms of people begging for their human rights and dignity. I don't want another generation to have to learn how to protest because there's no access. I'm hoping that the work that we've done in this industry to legalize it gives us the respite that we need so that we can connect together and build the ideal nation. And America can be better. But it's going to get there when we bring it better together. Thank you. So the way to find out more about my campaign and the platforms that I'm solidly on is by going to my website, Teressa Raiford for Mayor. There's also a way to donate. It's Raiford2020.com. I'm hoping that people connect with our campaign so that you can learn about the things that I stand for. We have infrastructure that needs to be done in this community. If any of you drove through Portland for the first time, you've seen the houseless issues in the houseless community sleeping on the side of our roads. We deconnected our parks. We took money from our parks and we added it to public safety, but we didn't add money to the housing programs that need to be funded so that we don't have an unhealthy criminal atmosphere outside. It's not the legalization of marijuana in the city that brings crime here. It's the fact that we have helpless people sleeping outside and we have an abundance of money coming into this state. Our priorities of policing poverty have to change. We have funding so that we can educate the next generation. Our city leads the nation in illiteracy amongst children. We lead the nation in suicide. We lead the nation in unhoused minors. Those are our babies. And so whoever is doing that and allowing it to happen, the fact that we're not in the room holding them accountable, that's the change that actually has to happen. That's the engineering in my mind. I'm a community organizer. I do plan to win this election in May on the 19th. I hope your vote helps us get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, giving a little insight and wisdom into what's really happening here in Portland, and you definitely have my vote. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Snyder. I am the founder of Tokeativity and the co-owner of Prism House PDX. I am really thrilled to be here today with all of you. Some faces are new, some are old, and we're all one umbrella of women working in cannabis. And if you've been working in cannabis for however long, you know that there is, every day there's some kind of struggle, a challenge that you face, whether it be because you are a woman, or just because it's the nature of business. But no matter what, being a woman in this world has its own challenges and prejudices, and sometimes you're the only woman in the room, you know, and you have to, you know, put your big girl pants on and do what you have to do in that moment. I think you all know what I'm talking about. There's something that you're thinking about right now that resonates. So I just wanted to tell you a little story about really kind of the seed of Tokeativity. And if you don't know about us, we are the global cannabis community for women. We work to empower women at the root level and forward the normalization of cannabis through our in-person and online events. And we have now 20 chapters across the globe. Most of them are in the United States. We have 2 in South Africa, 2 in Spain, and really exciting. This is brand new, but we are going to have 1 in India. So that's really cool. So we really work to connect women, all women who love or are interested in cannabis. And that can be in business or personally. And so a lot of our events are really about connecting with yourself and one another. And so we hope that that happens today. Hopefully you met someone when you came in and sat down, but we're gonna be doing a little exercise in a little bit to kind of stir things up a little bit and so you can meet some more ladies. But the seed of Tokeativity came when I was 22 years old. And I went to a festival that was made for women by women, and everything was built by them. They had no help from men. I didn't know that, but as I walked out into the field of the music, the night stage, there was like a really big stage and a really, really tall platform for lighting. And the first thought I had was, there's no way that women could possibly have done that. Like, that was my thought. And then I was like, oh my God, they totally did that. They did that by themselves. 100% by themselves, they built it. And I really recognized my first inkling of internalized misogyny that everybody has somewhere along the way because they were told they couldn't do something by somebody else. Whether it was someone telling them directly or having an experience where someone has totally blocked you from moving forward. And so it really does take a lot of strength to recognize that that might be happening and know that you're absolutely capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do. And that you have to remember that people are going to get in your way, and you have to know that there are barriers, but you can break them down. And it just takes a moment to recognize that, one, that you're capable of doing that you know that there are ways around barriers. And I'm a really big fan of breaking down barriers, of figuring out what is it, okay, and then how do I get around it or move over it or get it out of my way. So, people and knowing other people is a really great way to move beyond barriers, because we're in a state of we're in a very digital world. We're connected to our phones and we're like on our computers, and it's like, when are we actually connecting with one another? Those opportunities are really far and few between, which is why Tokeativity has become so important to so many, because it's about connecting, connectivity, interactivity, creativity, and being active. So I welcome you today to play with us a little bit and discover someone new or a couple someones who are new to you, and I hope that they help you remove barriers in your journey. Thank you.
All right, so I just wanted to say as just a little wrap up to what Lisa said. I'm not surprised by any means anymore, but it just excites me at how freaking powerful women in cannabis are right now. I love the saying we're the people that came after the witches you couldn't burn. What is that saying? I love it so much, because I think the women in the cannabis space are witchy women. And that means, what does that mean? That means that you manifest things. That means that you're in tune with your body and with the earth and with plants. And that means that you are a healer and that you make magic happen. And I really see this in all women surrounding me in cannabis. And it's just very, very exciting. So harness that for yourself. What is it about cannabis that kind of brought you here, and tap deep into that energy deep inside of yourself. It is much deeper than just us here right now. There's generations and generations of women who have been suppressed for using plant medicine. So here we are, normalizing it, bringing it to the surface, being I'm a mom and I smoke hella weed, and that's totally okay. I'm also a mom who uses topicals to treat my chronic pain. I'm also a mom who owns a business and does 8 million things, and I am the farthest thing from a lazy stoner you could ever imagine. So just keep doing your work out there. It is really freaking important. If we're going to keep the dominoes falling in the direction that we want them to, we just have to keep showing up for each other. And that means by knowing each other. So networking bingo. I'm really excited about this. We've never done this with Tokeativity yet, but I was on the board of a nonprofit for the city of Portland, and we would do this sometimes at our events, and it was really, really fun. So we have 4 different boards up here, and we have some pens. So when we're finished, please come up. Actually, I want to say, too, we have a free month of Tokeativity business membership for all of you here. It's worth $99. Don't mind the expiration date if it isn't crossed off on yours. This includes SEO optimization, getting onto our business directory, and just getting connected into the Tokeativity community, the global community. So please take this. Also here from Verdant Leaf and Orca, they have a little scanner here thing where you can get a personalized voter's guide. You can contact your elected officials, find an association, or join a national conversation around the politics surrounding women in cannabis. So please grab that. And then we also have Teressa's stuff up here. There's stickers and buttons, and you can sign up for her campaign. And something really important to note is it's just true that politics are fueled by money. And if you want to support more women to get in office, you need to put your money where your mouth is. So make some donations to her campaign. If it resonated with you, even if you're not sure if you're going to vote for her, anything helps. $5, $20, whatever you can do. She's out there, doing this work, and regardless, supporting our sisters is really important. So we have 4 different bingo boards here, and there's obviously just like a whole bunch of questions here. And what's fun about this is it's a great prompt for being able to network pretty quickly, because the first person to fill this bingo board gets this amazing collection gift of products here. We have a CBD scrub, some CBD tea, Empower lotion, some Saint Crazy Girl lube, some face lotion, a Meraki t-shirt, and so we are excited to gift somebody. If we don't get a bingo, we'll figure it out from there, like maybe whoever got the most. And then what we're thinking is if you could write the name of whoever, fits this. So if you work at a you find somebody that works at a dispensary, just put their name there, and that'll be also kind of a clever way to try and remember everybody's names. So we can just have everybody come up here and take a board, and we have about 45 minutes here to just mingle and get to know each other, and whoever gets bingo, you know what to do. Yell it on out, and we'll give you this gift here. Thank you so much to Mary Lou and Denise and the women of the CCC. This is one of our favorite events every year. It's really beautiful. This whole entire event is powered by women. And we hope to see you on the floor around today. We have some upcoming events if you're local. If you're not local, we have upcoming events in other places. So we hope to see you, and let's get into some networking bingo.